We were talking about anger because that's a difficult emotion for people to handle.
Yep.
I think we've talked about that many times.
Yep.
You know, when an adult, the resentments, we've talked quite a bit about the resentment, about how to overcome the resentment, you know, in adult children who cut off or disconnect contact with their elderly parents because of what has gone on previously in their lives. They don't trust them with their grandchildren because they believe they're going to, repetitively behave in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my position about that is that if you have that thought, then what you're also saying is you're still in that traumatized place as a child, that you don't think in your mind that you've got to a mature place where you're able to set a boundary with that parent if they are around your grandchildren, that somehow you're still in that traumatized, paralyzed place that you don't have the right or the permission to set an appropriate boundary with the grandparents. It's still as if you're paralyzed and still can't have your voice and still can't talk, you know, which is why that fear, I think, gets triggered.
Well, I think that's one possibility. I think another possibility is that possibly the grandparents are not trustworthy and are abusive and not stable, and perhaps it's a good decision not to allow them around in your life and your children.
Yes.
I mean, that's another possibility. Just because...
Here's where I'm not disagreeing with you,
Yeah.
but there's always extremes in life.
Yep.
And of course, you know, for the most part, we deal with extremities, but I'm talking more, and I think we should talk about the extremities, but I'm talking more about in the middle of the bell curve here, where you have adult children who somehow have it still fixed in their head that they're still in that regressed state of that traumatized child, and they still don't give themselves permission to be able to set an appropriate boundary with a parent, and have this fear that that parent will just walk right over that boundary, and that somehow they don't have the ability to stop it,
Right.
even as an adult.
Yep.
And that's where I think we have to say to adult children, yeah, you do. You have all the control, you have the power, you have the right to set a boundary, and you have the right to set a condition on the behavior of the parent, now the grandparent, if they cross that boundary. But I think that there are adult children out there who somehow still struggle with that.